go ahead and start off by refreshing my face with my Cinema Secrets Moisture Spray. And this is just to help your makeup last longer. I went ahead and applied this already onto my face because it really helps with blemishes and like acne scars and stuff like that. Before applying any foundation, I'm going to go ahead and apply my Prime Time by Bare Minerals. This is like my ultimate favorite foundation primer. And if you guys don't know what primer is to make your makeup last longer. I love this stuff. I've been using it for so long. Next, I go ahead and move on to my Shine Killer from NYX. You guys know I love this. This is going to prevent oiliness from happening. And I just go ahead and apply this to my T-zone since I'm not really oily, just in this area right here. And then usually whatever I have left over on my hands, go ahead and apply it right here. I am now going to apply my NYX Pore Filler. Seriously, this is like the best pore filler I've ever used. I've never tried the Porefessional, which is something I've been wanting to try, but this is perfect. Like if you're in a budget and you can't really be spending on that type of stuff, I definitely recommend this one. And I know I found a really good deal on Amazon if you want to purchase both of these. Amazing deal. I'll go ahead and link it down below. So then I'm just gonna apply this to my nose. Basically anywhere where you have larger pores. And then I apply this on my forehead. Then I go ahead and apply them on my blemishes too. Sometimes I feel like I can just apply this stuff and I don't need to apply any foundation because it right away kind of like blurs everything out. I usually like to start off with my face first, but for today we're gonna start off with our eyes because I'm using a darker pigment and I just don't want any fallout and it'll be easier to clean off this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows first, and I'm gonna use my NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder in the shade Dark Brown, which is what I've been using lately. And I go ahead and apply the wax first with my ring finger just to set my brows in place. Okay, so I go ahead and mix both of these colors, and I usually like to apply this one on the outer corners of my eyes to make them darker from the edges and try and keep the inner corners lighter. So I like to start off by drawing a line on the bottom of my brows just to kind of make that my base, and then I like to push the product up towards my brows and kind of flick it this way. But I usually like to run my spoolie through them before and after I'm done, just to remove any excess product or kind of move it around and place my hairs down. And sometimes when I have too much product build up in one little area, I usually like to run it through there and then kind of just rub the excess on my hand. What I've been loving to use to prime my eyes is this concealer from Marykay in the shade Light Ivory. It kind of has like a yellowy base to it, and I don't have oily eyelids, so if you guys do, I'm not sure how this product would work on you. And I also like to use it to clean under my brows in case there's like, just to kind of perfect them a little bit more. I just got this new flat brush that I don't know where it's from either, but I know I got this brush at IMATS, but I don't remember the brand. I'll go ahead and link down where all my brushes are from if I kind of forget to mention them in this video, but it's just a flat brush like that, and it's really gonna help me shape my brows and apply this all over my lids as well. It just makes the eyebrow shape look a lot better. Then I like to blend it out with my fingers. And this just also evens out the discoloration on my eyelids, and it makes my eyeshadows appear a lot more vibrant. And just to make sure that all these shadows apply well, I'm going to go ahead and run my fluffy blending brush with this Nye Banana Powder. And I'm going to be applying this all over my eyes, just like this, dusting it around so the shadows can grab on evenly, so it won't look patchy and stuff like that. I'm going to be applying Soft Brown on my crease from MAC. And this is just like a light brown, and it's the perfect crease shade And I will be applying this with a MAC 217 brush. So I will be applying this right on my crease. And as I'm applying product, I'm also blending in windshield wiping motions just like this. Then usually I like to kind of drag it up towards my brow bone, like flicking it. I feel like it just gives the best color payoff and it doesn't look all patchy. I'm going to be building up this product as well, just because we want a soft transition shade and we don't want it to look harsh. But this is another great dupe for this brush right here that I used in my last tutorial that I said I'm like obsessed with. I don't know if you guys can see the bristles on this, but they look exactly the same. So I would honestly say these two are like dupes. And then that one cost me, I think it was like $3 at IMATS. And like everything, I'll be having it down below. And this is from the brand Stilazzi. To kind of give more depth to the crease, I'm going to go ahead and apply Saddle from MAC onto my crease as well. All over my eyelid, I'm going to be applying this pigment by Colourpop in the shade Fantasy. And it's just a purple color. Okay, so I will be applying this all over my eyelids with my ring finger. I feel like with these shadows, you get the best pigment and color payoff when you apply it with your finger. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. Going back to my 217 brush from MAC, I'm going to go ahead and blend right here so we won't have a harsh line. I don't notice any fallout right now. Okay, I think I'm going to have to switch over to another brush. I'm going to be using my Stilazzi brush that I mentioned to you guys, and this is a color blend brush. I can't wait for this whole look to come together. So using the same Stilazzi brush, I am going to dip this in Texture by MAC and really blend away on the crease area. So this is all close and personal, but this is how the shadow looks. I'm going to be using my Two Timer eyeliner by NYX, and this is like my go-to favorite eyeliner at the moment. So what I usually like to do is I like using the liquid liner on the outer portion of my eye. Lately I've been getting allergies on this eye. Well, it's been like that for a really long time. I go in with my Epic Black NYX gel liner because if my eye starts getting teary in the inner corners, the liquid liner smudges towards the top on this area and just ruins everything for me. But when I use a gel liner in the inner corners and if my eyes get watery or anything like that, it doesn't do anything crazy unless I touch it, obviously. But I like to start off from the middle and then work my way out and connect it. Lifting my brow really helps me too. Using a brush that's this little really helps, you know, perfect your liner. To prep my eyes for some falsies, I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes first with my Sally Hansen eyelash curler. And for mascara, I am going to be using my Full Figured by NYX. So something new that I'm going to be using in this video as well is my Velour lashes in Girlyoucrazy. So yeah, I'm going to be using these, and I always use affordable lashes. This is the first time I actually invest into something that's expensive, and they were like $20 at IMATS, so it's not as bad as $35 online. Just so gorgeous. I couldn't say no, and at first I was like, I'm not gonna buy them, but hey, I ended up buying them. I couldn't pass upon them. They're just gorgeous and full and fluttery. Seriously, I cannot get enough of these. They're just so pretty and I stare at them every day and I'm like, ah, I can't wait to wear you. And they come with like a little edge right here, so in case if you do need to cut them, go ahead and cut that. So to put them on, I'm going to be using my eyelash adhesive from Lash Grip. Been using this for years, and also Duo is another great one. Make sure you apply them as close as possible to your lash line. They're definitely super easy to put on. I just love how perfect they just sit on my eye when I put them on. I'm going to apply my foundation. So for today, I'm going to be using my Fit Me by Maybelline Foundation in the shade 210. This does contain SPF. My skin hates SPF, so I think that's why I've been breaking out lately, but I don't know, I'm telling you guys, like I really wanted to give it a full-on use to see if it's like really bad or not, but I don't know. You know, this whole skin situation going on, yeah. I just feel like this way you use less foundation than putting it on with your beauty blender, because the beauty blender usually like removes excess product. I'm going to be using a damped beauty blender to work this into my skin. So as I was saying, I'm not a huge fan of this foundation. I know they came out with a new reformulated one and I've heard so much good things about that one, so I can't really speak for their new ones, but I know this is one of their old ones. I don't know, maybe it's just the SPF that I don't like. For an everyday basis, this is an okay foundation, but I feel like throughout the day it kind of wears off and I don't really like that. And this is medium coverage because it still hides some blemishes and stuff like that. Something I always forget to mention on my channel, for any of you guys who have horrible dark circles just like me, there is a thing called color correcting, and I am using this NYX Dark Circle concealer in the shade medium. If you have a yellow tone skin tone, then a salmon color would work for you. If you guys would like a whole separate video on that, then please let me know. This will definitely change your life if you have dark spots or anything like that, so I definitely wanted to get that covered here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and be applying this on my dark circles because I have pretty horrible bags. And this is just going to help correct the discoloration on your skin tone. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out with my beauty blender. And right on top of that, I'll be applying my MAC Prolong Wear Concealer in the shade NC20. And as always, I'll be applying this with my ring finger in a triangular shape to bring illumination to my face. And the excess that I have on my hand right here, I'll be applying this to the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and my chin. Cute as well. I'll go ahead and be working this into my skin with a damped beauty blender as well. I'm going back with that same flat brush I used for my concealer on my eyes earlier, and whatever product I've used underneath my eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and use that product to clean up the edge of my liner. And what I love about this technique is that you can also kind of drag your liner more far. Can you guys see how I just easily extended that? To set my concealer in all the highlighted areas, I'm going to go ahead and apply my Nye Banana Powder. I'm going to use a foundation brush. I don't know why I've been liking this technique lately, but I just go ahead and put some, and then I tap off the excess, and then like that. Once I finish doing that, I'm going to set my foundation with my NYX Stay Matte but not flat powder foundation, and this just gives an extra heavy coverage. Since it's a little darker than my skin tone, it really helps the foundation match my skin tone more. And I'm going to be applying this with my Napoleon BR22 brush. And make sure you are patting so you can work into your skin, because then the other way you move the foundation around. But make sure you avoid the under eye area, because then it just defeats the purpose of highlighting. For my bottom lash line, I am going to be applying this NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and Definitely a Turn On waterproof eyeliner, and it's a glittery eyeliner, so it's in the shade Black Sparkle. Right on top of that, I'll be applying this other NYX Slide On, Glide On, Definitely a Turn On waterproof eyeliner, and this is in the shade Pretty Violet. To really darken the waterline, I went ahead and applied my Epic Black Mousse Liner off camera because there was so much noise going on, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to apply this, let them know. I'm going to apply those two colors, Soft Brown and Texture, and smoke it out. I am going to take my Stilazzi Color Blend brush, and this just has brown on it already, and I'm really going to blend this bottom lash line out. The Colourpop eyeshadows are only $5, so you know, you guys can definitely get those, and I know they came out with a matte line shade, so you guys can go ahead and pick that up as well and use that on your crease. So to finish up the eyes, I am going to be using my NYX Full Figured Lush Lashes Mascara. I love using this mascara for my bottom lashes. That's what I've been using lately. So I usually like to give them 2 coats of mascara, and this just really opens up your eye. Watch, I'm gonna go ahead and do one eye, and then you guys will see the difference. Can you guys see the difference in what the mascara did? How much better it actually looks when you apply bottom mascara. So for the inner corner, I'm gonna apply Nylon by MAC. So I'm kind of too highlighted, but I'm only gonna apply a little bit and then blend it out. To warm up my complexion and set a transition shade before contouring or anything like that, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer in Medium Deep. And you can just use any small dome brush like this. And I'm going to be applying this like if I was going to contour, but instead I'm actually going to set it down as a contouring transition shade. It just looks so much better. And it really brings warmth to my complexion, and when it gets towards the center of my face, I like to kind of smile, like, and really hit the cheeks right here. So it can really give me like nice cheekbones. Then I like to blend it up and take it to my temples. And then flick it into my hairline, and I'm gonna put it on my jawline to give it some definition and hide that double chin. Because can you guys see the difference it makes on the face? It really sculpts it out. I love the contouring and highlighting technique, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing to my other side of the face. And then I'm not gonna be precise with my nose, but I'm just gonna apply a little bit on this same brush and put it on my nose. And another thing that I actually wanted to address in this video is when you guys apply any powders, eyeshadows, make sure you guys are tapping away the excess of your products. Do not blow into them. It's unsanitary. And I know in makeup school they taught us this because obviously we're working on other people, and I don't know, I just feel like it should apply to everyone. Even if you aren't a makeup artist, you want to keep your makeup as sanitary and germ-free as possible. So that's something I've never mentioned and I always forget, even though I know it's very important. Get a wipey, wipe it down. Don't blow your brushes, your products. Okay, how to get that out there so you guys can know, because I know there's a few people who probably don't know this. To really hit those cheekbones and give the illusion of having cheekbones, I am going to be contouring with my NYX Taupe powder blush that is currently broken. I love this shade because it's kind of like an ashy tone, so it really appears like a shadow. So I've been loving this, and I'm applying it with an angled brush. And you can just use any angled brush. And a little bit on my nose. For blush, I'm going to be using my 10 color palette by BH Cosmetics. I think this blush palette is discontinued, and I just realized this a couple days ago. But they definitely still have the shades I'm going to be using for this look. You're taking this purpley shade right here, and I'm going to be mixing it with this lighter pinky shade tone. They're just so pigmented. Can you guys see that? I'm going to pop this on the high points of my cheeks. You guys can definitely leave this look like this, but I kind of want to add a little bit more color to my face. So I'm going to apply this to the ends of my cheekbone. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that away before I apply any highlight. And to highlight, I'm going to be taking my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. And I'm going to be using a fan brush from my Napoleon Paradise as well. Doesn't have a number on it, but it's just a fan brush. Gonna apply that glow. And my lips, because today I think I'm gonna go with a nude lip. Don't forget to blend that away too. For lips today, I'm going to be using my NYX Butter lipstick in the shade Snowcap. I love this lipstick because it has like a pinky undertone and it is a nude color. So I think it'll look gorgeous, especially with this eye color. And right after that, I am going to be applying my NYX Butter lipstick in the shade Fortune Cookie. And I'm going to be popping this right here on the center of my lips to make them appear bigger. So this pretty much wraps up my look for today. Wow, that was a long video. Seriously, I don't know how long this video is going to be. But if you guys have stuck with me till the end, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I definitely wanted this video to be my transition into Valentine's Day, and yes, so I'm very excited. Stay tuned for that because I have a very exciting video coming up. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!